Good day, everybody. It's Christy from Okketoh. So today I'm going to make a keto-friendly version of Christmas toffee. And it's really pretty simple. So let me get into those ingredients. I'm using 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter. I'm using salted butter. I'm using 1 cup of Okketoh monk fruit sweetener, the golden. So that's already been measured out as well. I'm also going to use 1 cup of Bake Believe semi-sweet chips. You could use Lily's if you prefer. And for my topping, you don't have to have a topping. You could use sea salt. If I was to do sea salt, I would do like 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt on top. But I'm going to use nuts as my topping. So half of my toffee will have chopped macadamia nuts. And then again, it was 1/4 cup. And then what I did is I took a knife and I chopped them up a little bit more. And then I'm also going to use, on the other half of the toffee, 1/4 cup of pecan pieces. So that is all of our ingredients. I also, off to the side, I have a baking sheet that has just a small lip on it, and I went ahead and lined it with parchment paper. We're going to set that off to the side. So let's get started. In this saucepan, it's a medium saucepan, I'm going to add my 2 sticks of butter and my 1 cup of Okketoh Golden. And now I'm going to turn on my flame. I'm using a gas stove to medium heat, and I'm going to bring this mixture to a boil. Once it's at a boil, I want it to boil for about 10 minutes. And you're going to stir it constantly, and you want a nice medium brown color, and you want your thermometer to read 290 degrees Fahrenheit. So once I get this boiled up, I'll show you what it looks like, and then we will be pouring it into our parchment lined baking sheet. Okay, mine has reached 290 degrees. It took about 9 minutes. Again, constantly stirring. So now I'm going to turn it off. And we are going to pour our mixture right into our parchment lined baking sheet. And then we're just going to quickly get this in there and spread it to the edges of our pan. Kind of want to work fast because it's going to start to set up pretty soon. And we're going to let this sit here about 2 to 3 minutes to set. Get nice and set. After 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to sprinkle our chocolate chips on top of it. So I'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now that mine's been setting for about 3 minutes, I'm going to take my Bake Believe semi-sweet chips, and I'm just going to sprinkle them on top. All over it. And we're just going to let this sit on top for about 3 minutes, and then we are going to spread the chocolate out over the pan, and then add our nuts to the top. I'll be right back when we go to spread it. 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now it's time to spread. You can see those chocolate chips have been melting. I'm just going to spread it nice and even across here. And then once we get this chocolate spread out and we get, for myself, the nuts added to it, this will be going in my refrigerator for 15 minutes before I take it out and break it up into pieces. Now, the way I'm going to store this is in an airtight container. You can put it in your fridge for up to a week. That's how I'm going to store mine. Or you can put it in an airtight container and leave it on your counter for up to 3 days, I would say. But again, I'm going to store mine in an airtight container in my fridge. This is so simple and so delicious. You could add like pistachio nuts if you like pistachios, walnuts, maybe some freeze-dried fruit like raspberries and pistachios or blueberries and pistachios. I mean, my mind goes wild with this stuff. So half of my toffee will get the chopped pecans, and the other half I'm going to do the macadamia nut. Let me show you. Isn't it beautiful? Again, I'm going to put it in my refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to break it up. I'll show you what it looks like when I take it out of the refrigerator to break it up, and then I'll be putting it in an airtight container, going back into my fridge. So I'll see you when I go to take this out. Okay, so mine was in the refrigerator for exactly 1 hour. When I removed it, I removed the parchment paper from the baking sheet and I set that off to the side on a cutting board. Then I took my baking sheet over to my food scale and I placed it on grams and found out how much my baking sheet weighed, and then I zeroed it out, and then I added the toffee back to the baking sheet and I came up with 688 grams in total for my toffee. Now, this is not like a traditional toffee because we're not using, original regular sugar. We are using that Okketoh brown or golden monk fruit. So it's going to be softer. It's not going to be as like a traditional toffee. The texture is going to be softer. So please expect that if you make this recipe. So I'm going to give you the macros for the recipe that I did with the macadamia nuts and the pecans, and I will give you the macros for the toffee without the nuts on top as well if you just want to do sea salt. So with the nuts, it's 3,020 calories, 288 grams of fat, 21 grams of protein, and 20 net carbs. If you make it without the nuts on top, it's 2,560 calories, 240 grams of fat, 16 grams of protein, and 16 net carbs. And then, of course, mine came to 688 grams, and then I would just divide that up to find out what my macros would be per serving and how many grams I would like in a serving. So I kind of divided it already. This is the macadamia nut side, and this is the pecan side, as I'm sure you can tell. Again, just expect it to be soft. It's not going to be like a traditional toffee. You can see the crystallization in there. But it is still delicious. I'm still calling it toffee because this is the way I would make my original Christmas toffee. So I don't know what other name to call it. But that's why I'm going to roll with it. So just expect that if you do make this, that it's going to be a lot softer. Kind of along the lines of a fudge. So thank you so much for watching. If you give this a try, please let me know down in the comments below what you think of it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.